Hey everybody, today we are looking at a new AI tool. It's currently on a lifetime deal on AppSumo, Junia AI. The closest tool that I can think of that I use on a daily basis that I can equate this to is SEO AI. And what it does is the basic gist of the tool is to create long form blog content. Now, if you've used any AI tools, you'll notice that a lot of times it's really, really difficult to get high quality blog content, long form blog content. I'm talking 1,500 words and above, without it being disjointed or without it being too generic. It's really difficult. And I will say this, the tool is amazing, but it still hasn't had the human factor yet. I still think we're some time away from developing content using AI that's really human readable. So I might share a couple tips here and there in this video on how I personally try to humanize some of the content. I'm not there yet 100%. I still have to manually sort of interject and optimize the content to make it human readable. But I think some of the AI sort of tips and tricks that I use is getting closer and closer to that final goal of creating AI, using AI to create content, but it's still being human readable. Yeah. So let's get to it. So this one specifically, again, I mentioned it's long form content. Junia AI is actually a well-known company in this space of writing long form AI content. I've actually came across this tool last year summer, and I was competing. I was comparing this and SEO AI and some of the other ones as well, like Jasper AI. And I didn't choose this one, so I was surprised they came on AppSumo, but after testing it for some time now, I have some issues and problems with the output, but I will say I'm going to keep this tool because I think there is a future. The company is well, I think the company is doing a great job with their own SEO. They're ranking really well. I think there is safety and security with this tool. So I do believe that purchasing the tool will probably benefit you over time, just because I like to look at tools that are gonna survive. If it's not gonna survive, if they don't have a good business plan, even if the promises are really great, sometimes it's just not worth it. So what you get, you there's 3 tiers, 4 tiers, as 4 tiers. Um, you unlock GPT-4, so they use GPT-4 at the moment. You can't. I don't believe you can choose which model you want to use. They decide for you, and I don't believe they have GPT-4o yet. But that's on the roadmap, and they're gonna do that. You can create ready to rank auto-generated articles. You can analyze the SEO of the document, which is not that great compared to some other tools that are more specialized with that, like such as Neuron Writer. You can actually add your own brand voice to it as well. Um, they have a text editor. They have different templates and things like that. And the nice, cool thing is that you can actually highlight specific portions of the outputted text, and there's a bunch of different AI things you can do. Very similar to Phrase and Phrase and some of these other tools as well. Currently, I am on license tier 3, where you get 100,000 words per month, which is equivalent to around 35 articles. You can integrate with WordPress, Reddit, Webflow directly, which personally I don't do that. I usually have it ready made here, and then once I feel like it's good enough, I'll usually put it to a Google Doc, so I have a copy of it, and then I'll publish it. I mean, you can automate this process, but I really like manually doing this just because I think automating too much content will get you flagged by Google, and you don't want that. They do auto internal external linking. They have auto insert competitor keywords and terms in existing content, and you can schedule publishing as well. The founder is Yi Junia AI. So I try to research a little bit of who they are, and I believe they're this person here. They're out of Denmark or Finland or something like that. Um, there's not also the other surprising thing is I haven't seen a lot of YouTube tutorials and reviews, so maybe this is one of those where you'll see it. And then let's look at the reviews. And so far, honestly, we're getting 5 stars across the board, but we only have four, four ratings, reviews, and some of the questions that they're asking. Let's look at the responses. Um, I just want to see something at the I've been using Junia for the last month or so. Two problems: the internal linking is not working, and I use WordPress on a cloud hosted server. Whenever I try to publish my article directly to WordPress, it just says there's an error publishing to WordPress. The most common reason for WordPress publishing is an incorrect website URL. Have you tried our troubleshooting guide? The internal linking problem shouldn't happen. Could you please send? Okay, so they don't really answer the question or solve the problem. Um, okay. let's go check out their website quickly, and see if they have anything interesting to look at. So you can write, 3,000 plus word long form content. You can actually check in the SEO score. You can check for if it's human, if like what the humanized content rating is, which actually is not great. There's a better tool for that, but I think it's not accurate. You can analyze competitor keywords. Again, their competitor research is not great either. Um, the outline editor is quite good, and then you can generate blog content. And then let's look at let's see here if they have anything else interesting. So you can ask it to create metadata such as the description and the title as well. um, okay, here. So, 4 easy steps. You enter the topic and keywords of the blog post that you want to write, and then you can customize the tone of the voice and then content output, and then you can generate the final blog post, and then edit and review and publish. Now, a couple things I wanted to look at is how good their SEO is and how their website performs in terms of SEO. So this is directly from SEMrush. They have an authority score of 34, which is decent. They started ranking around January 2023, and they basically skyrocketed, and they've been pretty good since then. Um, the organic position distribution, they have a lot of keywords between positions 50 and 100, but they have a lot of content, some of the keywords that are ranking within the first 10 positions, which is good. So I think overall a good sign. So some of the keywords that you can actually write and see that they actually do rank. So for example, if you write prompt writer, they're ranking third, and if you type in book ideas generator, they are ranking fourth. And so if you click on one of these are actually tools that they offer. So this is a tool, and they actually have a blog article here where they describe the prompt generator and introduction. And this is clearly, you can tell it has that the AI flow to it. So they have a table of contents here, but you can start, if you read long enough, it does feel like it's AI, and there's not really that human touch. But it is ranking well. So I guess Google isn't necessarily against. And if you take a look at one of my earlier videos where I talk about the 14,000 ranking factors that, well, they're not necessarily ranking factors, but that was the huge document. And one of the things like that you can sort of extract from that is like AI content is not necessarily bad as long as it flows nice, there's good user experience, and there's a good retention rate on the piece of content. Generally, really bad AI content will convince readers not to read it at all, and they're going to leave the page, and you just have a really low attention span, like a low retention rate. So you don't want that. Now let's get to the tool, and there's a couple things that they have. So they have a bunch of templates that you can use that I don't touch at all: Facebook ads and summarizers and Twitter posts and things like that. You can do that, but I haven't tested it out, and that's not what I'm interested in. What I'm interested in is either rewriting content that I already have or writing new content. Now, say for example, let's just, before we get to that, let's do brand voice. So what they do is I actually created two brand voice. One is for my own web development agency business. And I submitted the name of the voice, which is MK Growth. I submitted the URL, and I gave some sample text from the website itself. And then it basically says it's a friendly, conversational, and straightforward with a touch of humor. It's like having a casual chat with a knowledgeable friend who hates bad design. The writer is user centric, emphasizing the importance of seamless user experience, etc., etc. And then there's another one that I did where I took some sample writing, and it's like professional, compassionate, and informative. It uses clear, direct language and convey expertise and instill confidence. The tone is caring and supportive, emphasizing personalized care and the power of community. So you can create that brand voice, and you can actually use that for creating new content. So let's go with the workflows. And actually, I already did it. So let's go to dashboard. Let's do AI article rewriter. So I'm going to show you guys the process, but I'm not going to publish it, because what I noticed was what they do is you input this information, and then it's going to generate an outline of the post, and it'll show that takes like 7-8 minutes, and then they're going to generate the content based on that outline, and that takes another like 7-8 minutes. So easily it takes, for me it took me around 15 minutes to 20 minutes to get the whole thing ready. Sometimes faster, sometimes slower, but yeah. So let's pretend like, so I already did this, and I'll show you guys the output. But what I did was I wrote how to humanize AI content. And then what I did was I actually went to Neuron Rater to get a bunch of keywords, because their keyword generator is not that great. So if I write humanize AI, and if I search for it, and you can it gives you, you can actually click on some of this right here. So let's just do that. And then, so they have 5 of these and they add it there. What else you can do is I used Neuron Writer, and you can just create a new project or whatever. So let's just go to default. Um, okay. And then you can create a new query and then write it, and then just new content start. I'll have another tutorial on this another time. But if I click on that, Humanize AI, and then it gave me a bunch of keywords here. So I just basically copied the list of terms. And then I went back to um, Junia AI, and I just basically pasted it like this. And it should work. Like I know it doesn't separate it, like it doesn't. So what it does, like, because they're spaced, they want you to do comma by comma, which you can ask ChatGPT to do that for you. But I just did this, and yeah, it worked for the most part. And then I'm just gonna copy this headline, and then what I'm gonna do is analyze. And because I'm in Canada, it's gonna look for the top pages for this specific, or this specific topic with the keywords, and it gives you a bunch, and you just select which ones you want to use as a reference point. So I want to 7 ways, 8 ways. Let's do 12-step easy, and this one here as well. And then you're gonna, and then it shows up here, and then you press next. And then what you're gonna do is basically add any additional instructions that you want it to know. Give some context. So, for example, in this piece of this piece of content, I wanted them to know that I have a web development agency, and we offer web development and AI and automation services. And then what you can write your own sort of brand voice, and you can use ChatGPT to take a transcript or whatever, and then generate a brand voice from that. But I'm just going to do MK growth here, and I did that. And then you can add links as well here, so you can specifically add links from other URLs, so you can add them here. In my case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to advanced settings, and I'm going to have one very actually it's going to be too expensive. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this style to a 3D render, and I'm going to include meta title and description, and then I'm going to include auto external linking and references, and I'm going to close that. And then what you want to do is, and it's going to generate outline. And once it generates outline, you're going to get an outline, and then you can generate the content. You'll get another button that says generate the content. And so I already did that for you guys. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go to dashboard, workspace. And so this is the piece that I wrote. It's a 1900 word piece, and you can do a couple things here. So once it's ready, once it's published, or sorry, once the AI generates the piece, you can actually go here, and there's a couple things you can do. So for example, this is the introduction. In the age of digital transformation, AI generated content has become a game changer across various industries, from drafting articles and blog posts to creating marketing copy and even generating social media updates. AI writing tools are revolutionizing how we produce content, but as powerful as AI is, it often struggles with one critical aspect: the human touch. Balancing automation with the human touch and content. So I think this piece is good. It's not too bad, honestly. If you scroll down a little bit, user intent is the secret sauce that makes your content resonate with readers. It's what turns a generic article into something truly valuable. When AI truly understands. So I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. So far, I'm liking how the flow of content. So what you can do now is, say you want to take this piece, right? You highlight it. You can do a bunch of things with it. So you can actually humanize it even more. So if you click on humanize, it's going to give you variations of that piece. So user intent is the secret sauce that makes your content resonate with readers. It turns, like, this to me doesn't really seem like it humanized it much. So I'm going to just close it, but I'm going to highlight this again. And you can do a couple other things. So you can expand, you can improve readability, you can fix spelling and grammar, you can improve SEO, you can generate an image, you can create custom command. So I have a custom command that I created. So add a custom command, and you can whatever name you want to do. And so I actually already have that. So let's go to custom, and if you see humanized content, I have a specific prompt that I did, that I created myself, and this is another specific prompt that I have. So in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to use a custom command, and I'm going to humanize the content. Let's see how my content, my custom command works. So it tells you how many words it's generating. User intent is a secret sauce that makes your content resonate. Like, it still feels not really, like, it's not really getting it, to be honest. And so that's why, to humanize it, you might have to try different things. I'm still trying to figure out what the best method is. I actually have some a method that I'm working on that is seemingly working for me, but I will show that in another video, so not now. There's a couple other things. I'm going to highlight this again. And what you can do is you can generate an image, you can use simple language, you can paraphrase, you can change the tone here, empathetic. So these are the two that I made, but they already have some. You can shorten it, you can write a summary, and you can rewrite to a different language. Let's do simple language. Let's see what it gives us here. User intent is a key ingredient that makes your content connect with readers. It's what transforms a basic article into something genuinely useful when AI grasps why someone is searching for information. Okay, I mean, like I feel like it's a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the text, and then let's go to the second part. And then what I'm going to do is let's try something else. I'm going to improve the SEO, and here you can add extra keywords that I want. So you can do like the best way to humanize AI content, and then actually separated by comma, and then I'm gonna do um, AI content isn't always bad. Okay, let's just do those two, and I'm gonna click on improve. So best practices, which best practices? Um, so I'm gonna just replace it, and then let's see if visuals are like the secret sauce. I'm just seeing if so the best way to humanize AI content. So it added that here. So let's see if it flows well. Visuals are like the secret sauce that takes AI generated content from a bland to, from bland to brilliant. They capture attention and evoke emotions, making your content not just read but felt. The best way to humanize AI content often involves incorporating relevant, emotionally impactful visuals. So I got that right, kind of. Imagine you're writing an article about sustainable living. A well placed chart showing the benefits of recycling compared to landfill waste is far more engaging than paragraphs of statistics. While AI content isn't always bad, integrating visuals. So I'm trying to see the second keyword or phrase that I gave it. See if it wrote it. So yeah, I don't really see it there, but I mean that was pretty good. Let's just take this paragraph here. Let's try something else. I'm going to improve the readability. Let's see if that does anything. Creating a personalized content is key to forging meaningful connections with your audience. It's like adding a dash of personality. So does that change? For the most part, I think it didn't really change much. Maybe just I don't think it changed much. So let's try something else now. I want to add an image. So I'm gonna do generate an image, and it's generating an image, and it should theoretically add that within that section there. Now, AI generated images aren't that great, especially when it comes to these tools. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, but I don't see an image. Where's the image? It's still, I think it's still loading here. So let's give it a second. While that's loading, let's do oh yeah, add an image. So add an image. Obviously, the text isn't there. I mean, the text is incorrect, but yeah, I mean, at least that worked. I feel like when the models get better, this is gonna get better. So don't always look at this tool as if like, oh, this sucks. Look at it like, okay, this is based on the underlying model. As models get better, the tools get better. Simple as that. You're not gonna get this type of user experience in ChatGPT, unfortunately. So they sort of work together. So that's the way I would look at it. And the last, we can also try to expand. Let's go to another section here, and I want to um, expand on this section, right? It has sub bullet points. I'm gonna it has 2 points, and I'm gonna just expand that and see if it does anything more. If it adds other points as well. So you have unique insights, avoid generic content, unique insights, avoid generic content, and it just adds more information under each point so you can tell unique insights, and it gives you combined data, industry trends, and it doesn't have that. I'm going to replace the text there. And so now we have that. And then let's do this section here. And I just want to do, let's see, continue writing. Actually, let's do something here. Uh, improve. Let's do auto internal linking. Oh, you can add links specifically. I'm just gonna do this one and just apply. See if it does anything there. AI generated content, and it's just the home page. Okay. So yeah, you can add links there as well. Okay, so now that we have a gist of it, you can bold things, you can underline things, you can like, right? You can underline things, you can change the headings, you can internal link, you can add your own images, you can add videos, just very the typical stuff that you see here. And then there's a couple other things. If you click on this icon button here, you can see the SEO score. So right now you're seeing a score of 10, right? Let's open this up again and let's do like humanize AI, and then I'm going to generate a report, and that's the keyword that I want to base it on. And what I'm going to do is while that loads, I'm going to go to neuron writer as well, and I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to show you guys that I have a score of 38. So I can, and you can see there's a bunch of AI keywords or keywords that I'm probably missing that I can probably add to improve that score. And then let's go back here to Junia AI. Let's go click on this, and now we're getting a score of 79%. So you're going to see some discrepancies there, obviously because of the keywords that are being inputted, et cetera, et cetera. But I would trust obviously Neuron Writer in this case. There's a couple other things you can do. You can click on SEO, and you can work on meta titles. You can do the meta description. You can generate an FAQ. And then let's go to the next one. You can add images. You can click on AI detect, and it'll tell you what the score is. But this is not actually a good indicator, because this tool is not good, because if you look at any other AI generated content detector, it'll tell you a different score. You can add citations as well, and you can look into your templates and do something with that. I didn't test that out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take this whole piece, and I'm going to go to Originality AI, which is the tool that I use to detect AI content. Now, this is going to have false positives, but you can see it takes around 40 credits. I'm going to use standard Turbo 3.0, which is their latest model. I'm going to scan now, and while it scans, it's very likely going to be close to 100% AI generated content, which isn't always. I mean, this tool isn't always accurate. None of these tools are necessarily always accurate. But what I would say is, as long as you go through each paragraph and really just try to work on it paragraph by paragraph, try to make it more human touch, like more human readable, I think you should be good in general. And as long as the user experience is good, as long as you put in effort, you add in images and videos and things like that before publishing, you should be good. Now you can see it's 100% AI generated, which yeah, I mean, we're not there yet. I think to get that score to really, I think SEO writing.ai actually does a really good job at turning this into more human readable content. So I will probably do a side by side comparison um, at a later time. But what I would say to the team, Junia AI, is if you guys can focus on trying to get the output to be more human readable, and to at least try to pass some of it, try to get a 50% score at least of originality, I think it'll be much better. I will keep this because I do think that there's a future for this tool. And yeah, I know I missed a couple things, but overall I try to communicate the most important things about the tool that will convince you either to buy it or not. So yeah, it's a 4.5 out of 5. I think there's a huge future. And until next time, we'll see you guys later, and take care.